All right, welcome back, everyone, to a bonus. I probably could have done that with the computer program and not just with my voice, but anyway, maybe I'll add that to it. No, I won't. So, again, these bonus videos, I know they're part of the worksheet, students, that you have to do. Maybe the bonus question is just for fun, and your teacher isn't one of those that's making you do it. If they are, it's not my fault. I didn't tell them. I said do it for fun. But what we're going to do here is you're just going to basically learn, because especially if you're someone who is thinking maybe you want to get into this as a profession, listen, there's a lot of fun things. Brian and a lot of the people we've talked to in the past have told us about the cool parts of touring and the family aspect and just building these great relationships and friends. But the reality is it's not for everyone, because there's a lot of work involved as well. And so, we want to represent both sides here, because we wouldn't want you to go into it thinking it's all daisies and unicorns and rainbows, because we told you that, and it's not. So he's not gonna like dog it or anything. I don't know, maybe he will, but he's gonna fill us in on in a kind of an honest picture. And now he has the freedom to do this because he's out of it right now. He didn't have to worry about going out and getting hired again. So he has the freedom to be a little more, and not that the others would. But so absolutely, Brian, if you would walk us through, Mr. Brian Judd, walk us through from your days, your experience. What was it like from say you finished one town, getting ready, setting up for loadout from the beginning of that day, shipping the stuff, right into probably one of the cases that you make, the stage ends jump in that to the next town. What's all that look like?
So if you kind of back it up to a Saturday, and we're talking about a normal 1 week, we're in a city for 1 week, and that's a good schedule. But you've got 8 to 12 semis full of stuff that have got to get ready for loadout. So on Saturday, you go and do 2 shows, and then you go home, go back to the hotel, try and get a good night's sleep, wake up on Sunday morning, and you're usually in the theater between 8 and 10 o'clock, depending on how much stuff you have to move. How big the theater is, how big the parking lot is, what that whole situation looks like. And this changes from week to week. So you would have to unload all the trucks and get all of the empty cases and all the scenery carts and all of that stuff staged and ready for loadout. Then go get yourself some coffee, come back to the theater, and get ready to do preset for the matinee show. Matinee starts at 2. Let's say your show's 2.5 hours long. You're down at 4:30. You've got a 7 o'clock show that night, so you've got to be back at the theater by 5:30. So now you go out and you have dinner, you come back to the theater to do your preset, and you have your 7:30 show, which comes down at 10. So now it's 10 p.m., and now your day starts. You've been at the theater between 8 and 10 in the morning, had a couple breaks, and now it's 10 o'clock at night. And now is when you're doing your work. Now we have to load the show out. Loadout's going to take between 4 and 5 hours, starting at 10 o'clock. So we're going to end between 2 and 3, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning. Too late to go home and sleep, because now you got a flight to catch to get to the next city. So you go back to your hotel, take a shower, grab your luggage, get in a cab, go to the airport, check in, crawl under the seats in the terminal and fall asleep until they call your flight to board. You get on your flight, try and catch a few winks on your flight, get into the next city, get into a cab, go to the hotel, check in, go have lunch. Now it's, 10, maybe noon. If you have to go to pre-rig, you've got to be in the theater by 8 to 10. And if you're just starting a regular load in, you have to be there between 12 and 2. So now you're in the theater, let's just say at noon, and you're going to go to midnight that day. So now midnight Monday night, you got up and showered and got ready for work at like 7 or 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. And at this point, you've only had a couple little cat naps, and now it's midnight on Monday. You go back to your hotel and you try and get some sleep, and you got to be back in the theater at 8 a.m. on Tuesday. And you work through focus, through sound check, through getting the cast on stage and preset. You have a couple meals in there. You take lunch at noon and you have dinner at 5. And now it's time to open the show. You do your preset. You have your opening night. And then now it's 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock at night in the new city. And now you're off work. So from 8 a.m. or 10 a.m. on Sunday to 10 or 11 p.m. on Tuesday, that's your work day.
That's all? I mean, that's all you guys are. So you really got to love what you do.
Yeah. And it takes a certain kind of person to do that. It takes people who tour for a living are unique.
Yeah.
It takes a long time to sort of detox off of that once that's not your schedule.
Oh, I would bet. Absolutely.
When I got off the road, I was a mess for months because
I
had done this for
supposed to be doing something.
14 years. Yeah, right. And you'd be walking through a grocery store. I toured on Moving Out, which is Billy Joel music. And I'd be walking through the grocery store, and a Billy Joel song would be playing on the Muzak, and something would happen, and I feel like I was late for a cue. And that happens all the time.
So, very, very serious question here, based on what you've just shared. How much coffee is consumed by an average stagehand during that?
There was a guy that I used to tour with that on the way to work would get a venti with 8 espresso shots added to it, a venti drip with 8 shots, and then he had a little coffee maker with him front of house.
Wow.
Yeah, he was jittery.
Yeah.
I think he was probably more jittery when he didn't have it.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that had to be a serious addiction at some point. That's crazy. Well, very good. More good stuff, Brian. Thank you so much. And there you guys have it. Now you know, if you want to do it, if you want to be in the show, you gotta have the go and like the coffee. For sure. So awesome, man. Well, thank you. Thanks again for dropping some knowledge on us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right, bye everybody.